What up, YouTube? It's your boys Carter TV, and I'm back with a nice little banger story for y'all. It's called The Wife's Club. Now, this story is about 4 women, all different nationalities. You got Ashley, she's Chinese. You got Cynthia, she's white. You got Jessica, she's Spanish. And you got April, who's black. Now, these 4 girls, they met they freshman year in high school, and they did not get along when they first met. A situation where they was dealing with a bully brought these 4 women close together, and they all 4 was being bullied by this one big girl in high school, which it came down to a situation where, April stepped up, and when she stepped up, the rest of them followed suit. They end up, beating the girl up and running her off. And basically, they became friends after that. They became real good friends after that. You know what I'm saying? They found a reason to be friends, and they became friends and throughout the years of high school, right? So throughout the years of high school, they all thought about getting married. They, all wanted to pursue careers. One wanted to be a lawyer. One wanted to be a doctor. One wanted to do nursing. And another one wanted to be a sports agent. So they all had careers that they was following suit, and they also wanted to be married with at least 2 or 3 kids. Each woman, they had different tastes in men. You know what I mean? You had April, she liked white men. You had Jessica, she liked Chinese men. You know what I mean? Like, they all didn't like their own nationality. They wanted outside their race, basically. Even, through after high school, they graduated. They made a pact to always keep in touch because they all went to 4 different colleges. One went to Yale, one went to Florida, one went to Atlanta, and another one went to Harvard. So they all separated, but they always kept in touch. They all visit each other at school. They was real close, you know what I'm saying? Especially after a situation they dealt with in high school that kind of put them past a lot. So after that, they became real close. They was each 4 girls was dealing with their own experience during college. One was dealing with threesomes. One was dealing with doing drugs. Another one was dealing with her first lesbian experience. Another one was dealing with going into the porn industry. You know what I'm saying? So all these women was going through these changes. Another one was dealing with underground. Ashley, the Chinese woman, she graduated college first, started her career. Followed suit with Cynthia, Jessica, and then April. So they formed a little pack as the Women's Club. And basically, the Women's Club with Ashley was the one who decided to form this pack as a women's club. Basically, she was like, the Women's Club can be like women who come together in a time of need. Whenever someone is down, we rush out to help, no matter the situation. We have to look out for one another. You know what I mean? So the rest of the girls is like, they thought it was a good idea. Women coming together, especially women of all different races coming together. You don't see that in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation where Jessica got into it with her husband. Now, each of these women married, right? They married different. When I mean they married different, the guys they married was a guy you wouldn't think they'd marry, right? So Jessica married a hood booger. She married a hood nigga who was in the street life. You know what I'm saying? April, she married an exotic dancer. Ashley, she married a mafia man. And Cynthia, she married a scam artist. You know what I'm saying? So all these women married these types of men. And, these men brought trouble along the way. You know what I'm saying? They did their little dirt. You know what I mean? They was in the streets. They were doing that. They were doing this. Some of them, was doing a lot. And the wife basically was holding it down. You know what I'm saying? When Ashley's husband had a situation, the girls came together and got it moving, got it clicking, saved him, bailed him out. Or when Cynthia man got into some jam, they bailed him out. This woman pack was for them to get it together. You know what I'm saying? So they married these men, and these men, they know nothing about their club. April thought it was a good idea to bring in more married women. The more married women, the more, the club could expand and become a bigger club and stuff like that. And, other two girls didn't think so much of it. Cynthia didn't like it. Ashley didn't like it. But Jessica thought it was okay. So what Jessica and April did, right, they started branching out to other women who was married. And when they was reaching out to other women, these other women was going through abusive relationships and shit like that. So it was a way of them branching out, trying to get these women to be under the wing and, get them a part of the club. They didn't tell Cynthia and Ashley that they did this. It was all undercover. Now, Ashley, Cynthia, Jessica, and April did their meetings regularly. It's just they didn't agree to having outside women in it because they built a pact, they built a code. You know what I mean? These women would look out for each other. Trying to get another woman to look out for another woman is hard nowadays. Like, we can't trust nobody outside. We have our bond. Trying to bring other women into our bond, it could destroy the inside. That's what Ashley thought. Cynthia agreed to it. Jessica and April were just like, the more women we can have aboard, the more we can spend out, and we don't always got to break our backs, and we can get a woman who's an officer, who's married to an officer. She was thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? She was thinking of more, expanding for lifetime. Because the circle they got is not lifetime, especially the men they got. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no type of law enforcement on the team, except a lawyer who could do so much. You know what I'm saying? So April and Jessica, they put together a little group. They put the little under the nose of Cynthia and Ashley. So a situation occurred where Ashley's husband, he's in the mafia. He got into a shootout and Ashley was involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was going on her way to meet him, and she got shot by the dudes who was shooting at her husband, and they ended up killing her husband. So the girls found out, they rushed to the hospital, boom, boom, boom. They told Ashley her husband died at the scene, and that left her heartbroken. He left behind 2 kids, 2 girls. So Ashley was hurt and everything, and after that situation happened, the dudes who shot at Ashley's husband, they was coming for her in the hospital. You feel me? They was coming for her in the hospital to kill her off because her husband was in the mafia. And the mafia basically was going to turn at Ashley to join the mafia to keep the business rolling. And Ashley was on her way to doing that so, she could provide for her daughters in other ways. She knew the business and everything. That was another way of, putting money into the women, the wife's club. So they was coming to kill her. But Ashley, she was prepared because she knew they was coming. So she set up a little booby trap for them, and Cynthia was there at the time this was going down. Cynthia was at the hospital when this was going down, and she had fell asleep the night they was coming for her. So Ashley got prepared, right? When Ashley got prepared, the 2 dudes walked in the hospital room. They seen Cynthia sleeping in the chair. She didn't know what was going on. She was woken up to the sounds of gunshots. The little silencer. She woke up to that. And they noticed her, because she was like in the corner somewhere sleeping. They noticed her after the fact, and it was like she's not even in the room. They startled her, woke up Cynthia. Cynthia was like, she was about to scream until one of the dudes was about to shoot her. And then Ashley jumped out of nowhere, cracked one of them in the head. Boom! The other one turned around, she swung and dropped him. She picked up their guns and shot both of them in the face. Boof, 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 boof. And Cynthia was startled. She was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Girl, what just happened? I said, they was coming for me. Right? They was coming for her. She said, why? Because of my husband. I just saved your life, bitch. She's like, thank you. She freaked out. She was like, calm down, drink some soda, calm down. I'm gonna go get help. Cops came, she told them they were trying to come for her on her sleep and everything. cops looked at the scene. It was just basically like, you look like you was well prepared for them to come. I said, yeah, I was. And she didn't basically get the cops no other information. So the other two girls, Jessica and April, arrived at the scene. She told them what happened, and then Ashley was basically like, listen, they was coming for me. I don't want them to come for y'all. I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna go join my husband's group, Mafia. And the three girls didn't agree because she has kids she has to monitor. She has kids she has to raise still. You know, it's just her by herself. She thought it was a good idea because she could put more money into the club for them to do more. And she could also, you know, expand and get more protection. So she ended up doing that. Another situation happened was with April's husband, right? He's the exotic dancer. He was doing a private show for a women's party. Turns out it was like 3 trannies there. And they end up raping the guy. You know what I mean? They end up getting at him. They was drunk. The dude wasn't with it. You know, he was just there to dance for them, make money, and come home. They end up raping the dude, and then leaving him on the curb. They notified April and let her know what happened, but he didn't want to say what had happened. You know what I mean? It's the first time he ever been in a situation like this. He got raped by 3 transgender women, like trannies. Like, you know what I mean? He got raped. And he, you know, as a man, when shit like that happen, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to speak on it. You don't want to tell your wife. You don't want to tell your kids because you feel like it's an embarrassment. He felt embarrassed. These women handled him, or these men handled him. He felt embarrassed. But April isn't finding out due to another woman who knew April. You know what I mean? They was like, yo, is your husband all right? She was like, yeah, something happened to him. He don't want to tell me. And the lady basically was like, yeah, he performed at a party and it was trannies there, and they wanted him to do a private little rendezvous, and your husband just wasn't with it. He told them no. And I think one of them spiked his drink because afterwards he stopped dancing and everything, he was feeling woozy, and then I seen one of them carry him to the back. I thought they was just helping maybe because he fell. We didn't think nothing of it. So April was like, what? So they might have, you know, got at your husband under the influence. Then I seen them carry him out. Like, I thought, you know, they was helping him because he was tired. You know, we didn't think nothing of it. He performed all night. You know, he was good. And then that was it. So April got wind. She ended up talking to her husband before making any decisions, right? So she was like, she spoke to her husband and she was like, you got raped. Just like that up front with him. And he was like, what? No, like trying to brush it off. No, you got raped by 3 trannies, right? By 3 trannies, right? They wanted you to perform for them and you wasn't with it. So he was silent. He just wasn't saying nothing. And he was like, what made you say that? I said, I got my sources. Why did you want to tell me this? That he was like, I can't tell you nothing like this. This is embarrassing. Your husband getting raped by trannies out in the street. Like, how would you have looked at me afterwards? You'd probably looked at me with a disgrace. She said, no, you're my husband after that. I will ride for you. I'll support you. Your dream is to be a dancer. I support your dream. But you keeping this from me is just, come on, share with me your pain. I want to go through things with you too. You know, they're having a one-to-one conversation. And he was just like, I just didn't feel comfortable. It was just something that a man, you know, don't feel comfortable telling his wife. And she basically like, I think it's time for you to get out of the exotic dancing thing and try to find something else to do. And, you know, dancing was his thing. That's his life. He loved his wife. He supported his wife because she was a lawyer. And he was like, I don't know nothing else. He was like, you do know something else. You can teach other guys who want to, you know, surprise their wife or their boyfriend with dance moves. You could be a teacher. And he thought maybe that'll be a new thing for him. Instead of doing private dances, working at clubs and everything. So he was just like, you know what? I'll give it a try. It's something new. It's something different for me. I'll do it. Would you support me? I can't lose. So she convinced him to stop. Right? And she also told her friends at the wife's club, told them, she was like, my husband was raped. So Jessica like, we all could have told you that. We knew that. It's to see he was too embarrassed to say. And so she looking at them like, why y'all bitches ain't say that? I said, we tried to tell you, but you was so mad and upset. We just ain't say nothing. So Ashley was just, she was the head honcho. She was like the muscle of the group. She was like more of the power. Like, I get shit done. What you want to do? So Ashley was just like, I want them motherfuckers who did that to my husband. And they went after them trainees, each and every one of them, and they all got them differently. They got one of them, cut his dick off and hung his ass out right on the street. Another one was on his way somewhere on the train tracks, and he got pushed in front of a train. Another one ended up going to jail. That one ended up going to jail on prostitution. And what happened was, in jail, they sent about a good 10 other trainees to jump on that one person. So they got that person in jail. He got gangbanged in jail, basically. That's what it was. Towards behind her. That's all I could say. Towards behind her. And other two girls, like Jessica and Cynthia, their husband was alright. You know what I mean? They wasn't doing too bad. So these women was doing things under the radar. They were smooth. They had careers to cover it, and they had the streets in their pocket. They was on. This women club was on go time. Now, a situation occurred with Cynthia. Cynthia is like the soft of the bunch. She's more of the go talk to type of woman, easygoing. She don't want violence, but she ends up getting beat up on her way home from grocery shopping. She gets beat up by a couple of hoodlums. They beat her up, and they beat her up bad. They black and blue to her. They broke her leg. They broke her collarbone. They fucked her up. You feel me? They fucked her up. You feel me? And the group found out, and one of their kids found out. It was a group of the hoodlums in her area. One of the kids found out. They overheard the teenagers talking, and they found out who it was. So Jessica, Ashley, and April, they went down and they handled their scandal, right? But come to find out, it was a trap for them. It was another mafia group that was after Ashley, and they set up a booby trap. They sent the teens at Sonya because she was the weak link. What happens now is, Jessica and Ashley went down first. Like, they went a certain way to go get these teens. April was playing the back cut. She was playing the back cut. And what she did was she started to peep certain movement. April, she peeped in certain movement, and she fell back. So them two went down, and then the mafia came and snatched them two up. They snatched up Ashley and Jessica and took them. So April was all alone there. April, what she did was she called on the group that she had on the low to help her. Now, these women was new to this whole movement shit that they had brewing. They wasn't with violence. They was trying to escape violence. But April really needed help because these are her good friends. And, if you help with my friends, they can help with other situations. So two of the girls was like, I'll help. I'm saying, I'll help. She had 3 women that she brought on the team. But Ashley and Sonya didn't know about this. Cynthia didn't know about this. Cynthia was laid up in the hospital. Jessica and Ashley was kidnapped. April, she went to go grab the 3 women she got under her wing, and she went to go help. She found out where they was. You feel me? She found out where they was banding at. A bum on the street recognized the 2 girls, and they saw April. Hey, I know where your friends is. I know that's your friends over there, right? Basically told him she paid the dude $100. Get about it. So what she did is she went in there, she scoped the place, she told the girls what to do. One girl was like, I'm scared, I can't do this, I'm backing out, I can't. So she backed out. So the other 2 girls went in with April, right? April went in. She had one girl as a sharpshooter. This girl ain't know how to shoot a gun in her damn life, but she was like, bitch, you gonna learn today if you gonna save my friends. So she set her up. Boop. She started taking dudes out. Boop, boop, boop. Ashley and another girl went in there. They started blazing the glory. These women was amateurs with guns, but they was getting the job done, shooting. And the girl that April brought, she cut them loose, saved them. And then Ashley was like, who the fuck is you? She was like, I'm with April, da 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 da. So he's like, girl, she my friend. I put her in the club and we here to save y'all asses. Let's go. So what happens now is Mafia started letting no grenade launches and shit at these women. The girl who was a sniper, she fell a good 2 stories. But she fell on something, you know, that wasn't too much for her. She fell. April was able enough to get her out of there. So, like, because the building was, like, half the building was collapsing and shit. Right? A couple of guys got caught in a little building collapse. So they ended up getting outside. And, like, at least 4 dudes and the leader was out there. It was like, yeah, we knew y'all bitches was going to make it out here eventually. Sorry you got to die like this. All because of Ashley and what her husband got going on. Y'all willing to die for that woman right there? So April and Jessica, they looked at Ashley, was like, yeah, we gonna ride with this bitch right here. She our friend. And they holding hands. And just right then and there, the girl who backed out at first, she came through with a whole family van, knocked all them niggas down. Boom! Knocked them out. The dude was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So Ashley was like, oh shit. She was like, motherfuckers! The lady in the van screaming at you motherfuckers, running them niggas over. Bump, 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 bump. So the dude is like, what the fuck? Who are you women? And Ashley picks up the gun, pointed at the dude, and shoots him right in his face. We the wife's club. Bloom! Blew his face off. And that's the end of the story. It's your boy, it's Carter TV, and I'm out, man.